All right, we're back playing a game of Saga, Normans versus Vikings, 6 points. We're using the Desecration scenario, so it's kind of interesting. Each side has 3 objective markers that they place, and the enemy has to try and destroy those objective markers with a melee or a shooting attack. Otherwise, their slaughter points gets capped pretty low. Okay, so I placed my objective markers here, here in this swamp, and here out in the open. You were limited to only put 1 into a rough ground. Don, where are your objective markers at?
Here, in the ruins, and over here.
Yeah, so we've got on my side 2 swamps. Over there we've got a woods, ruin, and a rocky ground. For my deployment, I've put 5 mounted Hearthguard here. I've got a unit of archer levy. I've got a unit of 7 mounted Hearthguard. Got my warlord, 8 crossbows, and 8 mounted warriors. Don, what do you got?
I have 8 warriors, 8 warriors, 8 warriors. My warlord, 8 Hearthguard, and 8 warriors.
All right, we're going back into Norman turn 1. All right, Norman turn 1. So we were a little unclear on the full restrictions on this scenario, whether player 1 still is restricted to 3. I believe since they put the restriction that player 1 can't charge or shoot in turn 1, that takes place of the only 3 dice, but we're not 100% positive on that. I don't think that's a universal rule. I think that's supposed to be listed in each scenario. Let us know if we're wrong. Anyways, I was player 1. I didn't really feel like throwing myself up there and just sitting there without being able to attack.
Chicken.
I did maneuver this unit of Hearthguard up and then activated them a second time, so they're sitting there with a fatigue, but within striking distance of that objective. Everything else is largely sitting here, and I've got a fairly loaded battle board. We'll see what the Vikings do. Going into Viking turn 1. Got Viking turn 1. I was just commenting it's hard to actually get the board in for a change. Usually we're only playing about half of this board, but the scenario's got us using the whole darn thing. So Don, what happened in turn 1 for the Vikings?
Well, we maneuvered this unit of warriors back and then activated them for a second time to move them into a blocking position.
Yeah, that's not great.
Then we obey and move the Hearthguard over and the warlord up a little bit.
Yep.
And then just to make sure that we had maximum charge distance, or we moved these guys just to within, or just outside of long for also maneuvering.
Yep, so the Ragnarok hasn't come yet, but it's sitting there on the board just waiting.
Just waiting.
And now we're going into Norman turn 2. All right, Norman turn 2. I think I started off by activating these guys with volley fire. Got 2 hits there, but he saved both, so. Then I moved my warlord back slightly to get him into we obey range of these guys. We obeyed up here, killed off that objective marker, and then I used a die, I believe, to move them back here, actually basically back where they started with the fatigue. So I got 1 objective marker. Then over here, I decided to rest these guys and then use impact to charge them into that unit of warriors. I used his fatigue to raise myself to armor 6, and I popped retreat for some extra defense dice. But he popped what? Thor and Uller. So all of his 6s were doubled and he had rerolls. We both got 6 hits on each other. I took 2 casualties, he took 4, so that's really pretty much an exact push. Half a point killed each way. And that was it. Going into Viking turn 2. Viking turn 2. All right, Don, what happened here?
Well, we threatened to charge on the Norman Knights over here. They cowardly ran away using gallop.
I galloped away.
Yes. My warlord moved up to within we obey range, moved the first unit of warriors up for free, activated this unit of warriors to keep up with them, then activated this group of warriors to move forward their 1 move, and then finally maneuvered this group of Hearthguard up to keep up with the warlord.
Yep, so a fair bit of just moving forward, but now, due to your, Frigg ability, basically everything's within striking distance if you want to do a double charge to Frigg, right?
Oh, you mean Ragnarok?
No, I'm thinking Friggs. Doing a double medium charge and then dumping your
Oh,
fatigue when you get there.
gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, that's true. The Ragnarok's still there being scary. All right, going into Norman turn 3. All right, Norman turn 3. Started off with, I believe, a volley fire of these levies into the warriors here. I think killed 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then I activated these guys to shoot with their crossbows. Nothing was boosting it. Just got 4 hits, right?
You used wounded.
I did use wounded to boost them to put fatigue if any casualties, but I got 4 hits and he didn't save any of them, so that was cool. Then I used die to rest these guys and then moved them up and threw at that unit, caused 1 casualty, and I rested over there. So I didn't do a ton, wasn't crazy aggressive, but that's it. Going into Viking turn 3. All right, Viking turn 3. Spoiler alert, here came the Ragnarok. Don, what the hell just happened?
Well, this unit of warriors moved up first.
Mm-hmm.
Then the warlord moved up under determination and brought the Hearthguard with him on We Obey.
Something else moved and it caused me to use my
Not yet.
gallop. Okay.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right.
Something also moved up in my gallop.
These guys threatened to charge your guys, and they galloped away.
Yep. So they galloped around down here. My warriors, who are, spoiler alert, they're gone.
The Hearthguard moved up. Then they used another move. At which time they used their free activation under Ragnarok to charge the crossbowmen, whom they annihilated.
Yep, killed all 8, but I killed 4 back, so that was good.
Yeah. Then we used an additional move to move into position around the warlord and used another free charge.
Yeah. And to be clear, we are still using the kind of maybe first edition interpretation of the fatigue bomb, where we just measure, when a unit's being removed, we're measuring from the full unit. The rules can maybe be interpreted where even in a melee you measure from the last model you pull off. I think that's dumb.
Especially when the whole unit's wiped
out. I think maybe that should be a case of I don't like that. So we're measuring from when the last model would be removed from the whole unit. So
they charged in exhausted.
Yes.
However, we activated Loki right away, which allowed me to gain an additional 6 dice over the course of the back and forth. I also utilized Thor and Uller, and I got all but 1 hit.
Yeah.
11 hits.
Yep, 11 hits, and he wiped me. I got 3 back. I realized a moment too late that if I had just used all 3 of his fatigue to raise myself to armor 6, he could have done everything he wanted, and I would have just been immune because he can't hit 7s because of his exhaustion. Does that make any sense? Can't roll a 7. I'd be armor 6, and he's -1 to his dice because of exhaustion. Yeah. All right, so he did that, and that again fatigue bombed my warlord and this unit, so I am fatigued all over the place, which is terrible. Anything else?
Oh yes, and finally, this set of warriors tried to take out the objective. However, they rolled all 1s and 2s.
Not a single hit
on 7 rolls. So these guys came up, finished the job.
Yeah, they even went in a second time. And,
that's right.
They went in a second time even, and then I just bounced them with the saves. And then finally these 2 guys finished it off, so a little harder work than you expected. But
yep.
All right, going into Norman turn 4. All right, turn 4 for the Normans. I discovered I had a small snafu in my plan because it was based in small part upon this guy being able to rest and then charge over here. I then measured and discovered that Warlord's Pride would force me to charge over there, and my plan fell apart. So instead, because I had already rested here with determination and We Obey when I discovered. So that was not good. So instead I was left over with here, I think I activated them with just a die to charge the objective marker. I had 6 dice and
1 hit.
1 hit, and he saved it. So that sucked. I bounced. Then I activated them with Pursuit to charge into those guys. So I had 9 dice. I did use the Fatigue to boost myself to 6. And then for Overkill, because I didn't want to lose any, I threw in Retreat, which proved to not be necessary. And with 9 dice, I got 1 hit. Luckily, he didn't save that one. So my dice were a little cold this turn. But at least now he loses a Saga die because I killed them down to 3. I had one activation left with my knights, and I kind of decided just to save it because I'm already getting a little low on dice. I got Gallop left, but other than that, that was not a great turn for me, going into Viking turn 4. All right, Viking turn 4. Don, tell me about it.
Determination move up here. Order we obey. Brought them up across the front, threatening that unit. Determination brought them up there, so you can still see his warlord. Then surprise attack. Warriors over here jumped the knights on horseback, and
I forgot I had Gallop.
we had a nice little exchange. I used Loki and Thor. Was able to take down 2 of his knights.
I only got one hit.
He only got one of my guys.
Yeah, it was not good. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, then they moved a second time to
Yeah,
block off the objective, so I can't even get to it. Without going through them first. I'm going into Norman turn 5. All right, Norman turn 5. I activated my warlord. First, he used his wheelbay to rest these guys. Then he used his determination to move. He burned my fatigue, and I moved kind of over to here. Eventually, I used a die to charge this one lone guy, and I used his fatigues to lower his armor and raise mine. I killed him. He didn't kill me back at all. It was close, though.
But it was close.
I almost didn't kill him. I rolled real bad. I skinned my teeth. So they're off there with 1 fatigue, and I finished off the Hearthguard. Then over here, I rested that dude, charged him into those guys, and threw the ability charge in there, so I went up to 4 dice. Made myself armor 6 and him armor 3. Rolled meh, I guess. Killed 1 dude, so they're still having a standoff over there, so I don't know if I'm going to get a second objective. And I used a volley fire and killed 2 dudes there. So at least that was nice. Going into Viking turn 5 and possibly the end of the game. All right, Viking turn 5. Don, what happened?
Did a wheel bay to move and consolidate the warriors into a bigger bunch. The warlord also followed over that way with his determination. Then we activated this lone Bondi to intercede in front of the objective. And now he awaits the Norman decision.
Yep, going into Norman turn 6. Actually, Don, roll a die. Are we going to have a turn 6?
What are we rolling?
I think a 4+ is what it says.
And we do, or we don't?
I think on a 4+ there's another turn.
Okay.
No, that's the game.
That is the game.
All right, so after the game, we totaled everything up. The Vikings had 14 points.
Yep.
And I had 17 points, but got capped at 16 because I couldn't ever get that last objective. But then, so we were thinking it was a draw. Then we read the actual rules all the way to the very end. And this one, I guess probably because of the cap, they removed that 3-point win rule. So it was just whoever had more points. So it's a tight victory to the Normans. I went with a very spread out movement of my objectives because I figured I've got cavalry and horses, and it'll make it harder for him to reach them all. Don, what did you think went well? What did you think you would have done differently?
I think overall it went pretty well for the Vikings. I think the objective point down by the woods, I think I would have... I think I should have consolidated my objective points into a tighter fit area since I can't move as far and as fast.
Brought them in closer to defend, maybe?
Yep.
Okay.
But otherwise, I don't think I would have changed a whole lot. The dice rolled pretty good. I got to use Ragnarok. Didn't get to use it as effectively as I would have liked, but I did get to use it, and it paid off. The Hearthguard chewed up 2 units.
Yeah, you killed... Yeah. 2 units of 8 warriors was pretty amazing.
And my lone unit of warriors protecting that 1 objective point, they really stood out.
And that was where I made the mistake. I forgot to use retreat that turn when you hit that second unit of warriors. 4 more dice, because you exactly killed all 8 of them. If I had 4 more defense dice, I think I could have saved them and saved myself a bunch of fatigue.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. But overall, it's an interesting scenario.
Yeah. I liked it.
I'd like to play it again.
I think we should play it again soon, yeah. Things I would have done differently, I think maybe I would have rather put maybe I would have rather used my unit of warriors for the flankers instead, because they could be better at harassing and just throwing javelins. But I don't know, they might have had a hard time getting through it too. I definitely, turn 4, I made a bunch of mistakes, both on my turn where I forgot that, or I didn't measure out to the Warlord's Pride first, and then my plan just sort of fell apart, so I didn't get much done. And then on your turn 4, I forgot about my Gallop, and my Hearthguard lost the power they needed to kind of finish off that fight in the back. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll chalk it up to being rusty. I think it's been a long time since I played Normans.
Well, it's been a long time since we played Saga.
It has been a long time since we played Saga. I have been playing a little bit. I did play a little bit of Saga last month at Games Plus, but still pretty rusty. All in all, it was a pretty good game though. Any other thoughts, Don?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Thanks for watching.